Welcome back, everyone, to Cover Together with your host, Mara and Books. This is like a state of emergency. NBA has been popping. We got a lot we want to get into on this emergency episode of the pod. NBA free agency. So, first and foremost, if you haven't seen this, you're living under a rock. Jaylen Brown just got traded to Philly. Boston gets Paul George, 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders. Let's just jump right into it. What are your thoughts? What is Boston thinking? Let's start there.
Well, first, happy 4th of July to everybody that celebrates. If you don't celebrate, well, happy vacation weekend. Hopefully you got some time off to spend with the family. Mm-hmm. It's been a crazy week. A lot of stuff to digest this week. Starting with this Jaylen Brown trade, like you said. Insane. Mm-hmm. I was lost for words when I was asleep when the trade came in. I woke up and I'm sitting there looking at my phone and I'm like, Paul George, like, this is it 2018? I thought it was like 20 again. I thought I was 20 years old again. I'm like, we're still trading Paul George for prime superstars?
Yep.
Paul George was acquired from the 76ers along with 2 first rounders and 2 second rounders in order to bring in Jaylen Brown, who was in the prime of his career, coming off of an MVP-like season and a finals MVP not too long before that. And they basically salary dumped him for Paul George, who also has a nasty player option on the next season. I was talking to you about this. I believe this is the worst trade in NBA history. I talked to a friend of mine the other day, Jay. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a big Celtics fan. And the next day after it happened, I said, do you think this was the worst trade ever? And he was like, nah, it's still Luka and AD. I'm like, not a chance. They sent this guy to a division rival for nothing.
Yeah.
Just because they hated him. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of reports out there about how Portland was in the mix. Charlotte made them an offer. It just came out within the last 24 hours. They offered up Naz Reid and Miles Bridges and multiple first-rounders. The Celtics countered and said, give us Brandon Miller and 4 first-round picks. So they really did not understand his value. Mm-hmm. Then word kind of got out across the league that nobody wanted him because of analytics. In today's game, everything is heavily predicated off of analytics. And it dropped his price down because he's not a 3-and-D type of guy. He's not, and they don't consider him a superstar either.
Yeah.
But, man, to end up with Paul George at the end of it. I mean, listen, no disrespect to Paul.
A lot of it, actually.
No disrespect to Paul, man. Like, I don't love his game, but he has robbed this league, much like Kirk Cousins has done the NFL, of money on every single team he's went to. And, I mean, I don't know what he has to show for it in his career. But for you to trade for a 34-year-old Paul George, I believe he's about 33, 34, on a $57 million contract with a player option next year, has to be one of the worst trades. And you sent him to a division rival.
Yep. A team that you've continuously run into in the playoffs. A team that has a young backcourt in VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey. Forget the Joel Embiid of it all, because he'll be out for 3/4 of the season, whatever.
Yeah.
VJ and Tyrese were coming into their own and playing very well. Joel came back and kind of jacked everything up, messed the chemistry up.
Yeah.
Now you're adding Jaylen Brown to that team that's been a thorn in your side for the past however many years.
And they just beat you.
They just beat you. They sent you home.
Yeah.
And all you got back is 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and Paul George.
And all of this was because you didn't want to include Hugo Gonzalez in a Giannis trade. And then you have the nerve to say Jaylen Brown didn't fit analytically what they were trying to do this season. They wanted to play from the inside out because they've been shooting a bunch of threes for the last 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. So now they're saying we want to play from the inside out. But you don't go get the inside superstar, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Mm-hmm. But we're like, you know what? Paul George will do it.
It's a lot of excuses coming out of that Celtics camp. There was a report that said they were pretty frustrated with the way he essentially was ad-libbing during the Sixers series, this playoffs when they got bounced. Doesn't sound like he was conforming to the system Joe Mazzulla was trying to run. He was kind of just out there ad-libbing, going with the flow. So really, they're just upset with him. They're upset that he's vocal. They're upset that he's on Twitch all the time, talking about stuff. Seems like his relationship with Jason Tatum has soured. And they were just tired of him. Anything else they say is an excuse. So at this point, they were just ready to get off of him. Do I agree with you that it's absolutely terrible? I'd have to rack my mental Rolodex for if it's the worst trade, but it's definitely top 3. I mean, it's awful.
I would say for right now, to me, it's over the Luka AD trade because that trade was terrible, but in your mind, you thought to yourself, AD is still kind of in his prime.
Yes. Conceptually it worked.
Yes. You know, in your mind, you could trick yourself into thinking, yeah, AD's a little injury prone, but AD with Kyrie out in Dallas, that's nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then, obviously that didn't work, but you knew just looking at this trade, there's not a chance that this was ever going to work out well in your favor if you're the Celtics.
Yeah.
And for you to, I kind of go back to that point again, for you to say you want to change what you're doing on the court and say, we want to put more pressure on the rim. Do you know how many times Paul George got to the rim last season?
No.
He is at a career low 15% pressure at the rim in his career. The older you get, the further back you start to shoot because you don't want that contact. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to be changing their style anytime soon.
Yeah.
And then to make matters worse, this may be the worst offseason I've seen the Celtics have in a while. They brought in Mitchell Robinson, $47 million, 3 years, I believe. Not a bad deal, but he's now your starting center. Then they bring in Mike Conley. So you got Paul George, Mike Conley, Jason Tatum, Hugo Gonzalez better start, and then Mitchell Robinson down low.
But then they also paid Keita.
They paid Kate. So that's what I was about to say. They paid Keita another, $80 million or so. Mm-hmm. So now you've got $100+ million wrapped up in Mitchell Robinson and Neemias Queta. Mm-hmm. And you're just hoping and banking that little duo is going to work out.
Yep.
Poor Tatum.
Disgusting.
Actually, not poor Tatum, because there is a truth to this. You could have spoke up and said something.
He wasn't going to. He wanted him gone.
Yeah. He did. But now look what you're stuck with.
He wanted him gone. Jaylen Brown has been a little more vocal about the fact that he wants to be the 1A, right?
Yep.
He has sprinkled it all throughout their time together. Mm-hmm. He hasn't come out directly and said, I want to be the star, but we can read between the lines.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum, however, has not come out of his mouth and said anything like that. But we know that he feels that way. We know he has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove that he's the 1A. How do you go to the finals and you're supposed to be the star and you don't get finals MVP, right? Yeah. He even said it in one of his interviews. That's one of his goals, is to be finals MVP. So clearly you have these two guys, both want to be the star, bumping heads. And it came to a head. They've been trying to break this up for years now, and it just happened.
I don't understand how you don't end up with Kevin Durant. You don't end up with Trey Murphy, something that you can sell this fan base on. Mm-hmm. You end up with Paul George.
Yeah. And
it's like, if this was 3 years ago, cool. No, but 3 years ago, Paul George was better than right now.
I mean, sure.
You know what I'm saying? It took him being on PEDs last year for him to have the output that he had. And he still got suspended 25 games.
Let me tell you something. You don't have to say anything for me to believe that Paul George is a bum. He's number 1 on my bum list.
Oh, Paul.
And no, we don't want you on the pod.
B-ball Paul, playoff P. Listen, man.
Podcast P.
Hey, get that money. I don't know what the Celtics are doing. I'm in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, when I saw the deal, I'm like, I'm trying to think objectively, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe they're just trying to wait until next summer or the summer after to get another star at that same money that Paul George is making. If Paul George walks, you open up $50 million. We can bring in Jokic, or we can bring in KD or Kyrie again, whatever the case is. But number one, he has a player option.
Yeah, there's not a chance.
If you don't think he's opting into $60 million, I'm not even going to say it, but Stephen A. would say a very hard line here about Lamar Odom. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, all in all, from the Celtics' point of view, terrible business. Brad Stevens went from being one of the most beloved head coaches and GMs in Celtics history to now probably be one of the worst because of this deal, because I don't see how you bounce back.
Yeah.
I know there's talks of them still being interested in Trey Murphy. If you can flip those picks and get Trey Murphy and get off of Paul, cool.
Well, they already said they're not flipping Paul.
No, I did see that. Disgusting. But, I mean, if you can add Trey Murphy, that might make it a little bit more palatable, but this has got to be the worst return I've seen for a guy of his caliber in quite a while.
Yeah.
In his prime.
I mean, Jaylen Brown, he's not my favorite, right? He's not my favorite personality. He's not my favorite player. However, I do agree. The disrespect was really loud.
Mm-hmm.
To treat him this way after he led your team to the 2nd seed and just boot him because you don't like his personality. You feel like he talks too much.
Yeah.
Analytically, he doesn't look that good. It doesn't matter what the analytics are telling you. Turn on the TV and watch him. He's who got you there.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a left hand to save his life. But to sit here and act like he was just destroying the game of basketball, that is insane to me. Jaylen Brown did not deserve any of the media coverage he's gotten, the negative media coverage he's gotten. I mean, he's a vocal person, but I've never just seen him openly attack anybody except for that night he was at the game with Angel and Kirsten was talking about Bronny. But that was crazy, Jaylen. But other than that, the way that everybody has been treating him over the last few months, being so outspoken against him.
Actually, the last couple of years, even going back to Team USA when they didn't want to put him on the team because of the whole Nike ordeal. But
even just this summer, like, teams are saying you don't want him to be the face of your franchise. You're the Hornets. You are the Bucks. Like, shut up. Yeah. Are you serious right now? Mm-hmm. There's no way that we have people in front offices this stupid. This is why I always joke and say, give me a call if you need somebody to run your front office, because we're going to make sense about stuff. Yeah. If a guy like Jaylen Brown is available, you go get Jaylen Brown. Mm-hmm. I mean, point blank, period. So, I mean, to wrap it up on that side, from the Sixers' point of view, they are having a hell of an offseason. Mm-hmm. The rookie that they drafted, Phylon Jr., them bringing in Jaylen Brown. They brought in Dean Wade at 4 years, $39 million. Bit of an overpay to me, but he's a sharpshooter. He's a true 4. They needed that. They did not have a 4 last year. They had Paul George playing the 4. So, and then also they get a steal in free agency. Anthony Simons, 2 years, $12 million. Mm-hmm. They've got a hell of a team right now. Yeah. And they can go about 8 to 9 deep and be comfortable. Yep. And they're still in the mix for Bron, which we will get to later. But this team of brotherly love they've turned it around quickly in one off season.
Yeah. I'm rooting for the process.
This is it, though.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Like Joel.
Yeah.
They done got you every star.
I'm not even necessarily rooting for Joel. I'm rooting for what feels like a team of people who have been cast aside, right? Yeah. I'm rooting for them to make some noise in the East. Do I feel like this gets them to the finals? I don't know. Because if you can put all this together, maybe.
I think the way that they looked last year without any true help, Jaylen helps a lot.
Yeah, he does.
And you get a scoring punch now with Anthony Simons coming off the bench. And you've got VJ who will take a step forward. And you got Tyrese Maxey who can only get better as an all-star guard.
Yep.
So you got Dean Wade who held his own in the playoffs. He shot the Cavs into a lot of games. I think they've got a really good chance with the team that they have. I don't know if I think they're the favorites. I think the East got real strong.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting on one big domino to drop. But I would give them the edge definitely over a couple of teams that have had to retool quickly. Even Miami, at this point, it's yet to be seen what they're going to do. So I would say that the 76ers are probably right at the top of the East on paper to me right
Agreed.
now. But, yeah.
Boston, good luck to you.
Get a grip. Yeah. Fire everybody that's involved over there.
Gosh.
Moving forward.
Yep.
I guess let's talk about LeBron.
No.
You don't want to talk about LeBron?
Let's do the things that are done already.
Okay.
Let's pivot to to Portland.
That's fair. Yes. Yes, definitely Ja. Ja was traded for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray, straight up. Just, that's it. There's nothing else to add to that. Yeah, that was an interesting trade. As soon as they traded for Ja, they said they were done. Everybody kind of thought, well, they got to be trading for Jaylen Brown now. You got 15 guards on the roster.
Right.
No, they were like, no, we're going to keep everybody we got. We're going to keep our picks, and we're going to make Drew Holiday play the 3. So, interesting team out in Portland. I think we touched on this a little bit, but regardless, this team is interesting. Obviously, we're both happy for Ja getting a chance to restart. He seems really excited to be there. Changed his jersey number. I'm sure them shoes he gonna drop this year are gonna be cold.
Yeah, for sure.
But him being at the point, Dame most likely moving to the 2 guard. You'll have Denny Avdia there at the 3. His role is gonna change a lot. And then, of course, you'll have Toumani Camara, too many cameras, and Donovan Clingan down low. So that's a nice starting 5. You got a lot of versatility. You'll still have Scoot coming off your bench, Drew Holiday coming off your bench, Shaedon Sharpe will be coming off your bench. The 4 and the 5, they did re-sign Robert Williams, so you're good there. But the 4 spot, they don't have a lot of depth, so I would imagine Drew Holiday and Denny get ready to play some power forward. But yeah, a lot of changes there in Portland. What do you think about everything?
I think this is a Portland team that outperformed all the ideas we had in our mind for them last year. I love it. I'm excited for Ja to get a new start. Obviously, I love Dame. I think that'll be a good place for him to be, for him to learn how to be a professional. I think they'll work really well alongside each other. I think they can balance each other and bring out each other's strengths. You know, Ja can get to the rim, Dame will shoot. I think it'll be a good pairing. So I'm just excited to see. You've got a head coach, Mike Nori, who's going to be hungry because he's coaching for his life, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I'm excited to watch him.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a little different of a Portland team that we've seen in the past. They were very glad to get off of that Jeremy Grant contract. And then, of course, Chris Murray, brother of
another Murray.
Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like twins, too. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
they do.
But, yeah, Chris will get a chance to kind of excel with Memphis. He didn't really get a lot of PT in Portland. So, yeah, I like the trade overall. I think it's a weird fit, but I think it's going to work out in a weird way. It's just going to be the role for Denny. He's not going to be playing on the ball as much. So, it's going to be a little different. But,
yeah.
in other news,
Kawhi
Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard.
He's back home, everybody.
Oh. Yeah, he hurried up and got on that plane. Is the RICO case true? Let us know if you think... No, I'm just joking. But honestly, good for Kawhi going back to Toronto. He gets traded for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, and was it 2 first-rounders?
2027 first-round pick swap, 2031 unprotected first round, 2033 unprotected first round, and then a couple second-rounders, too.
Yeah, honestly, not a bad trade for Toronto. A guy like Kawhi in his prime, you would expect for him to get like a Kevin Durant package.
Timeout. I just hit a timeout symbol over here. I know you guys can't see it, but I had to put that out there.
Oh, gosh.
You said Kawhi in his prime. Because I personally feel like that is a slight overpayment.
Do you really?
I do.
For Kawhi Leonard?
For Kawhi Leonard. We have been seeing Kawhi battle these nagging injuries the last few years that have kept him out a significant period of time. If you're telling me, sure, they traded Grady Dick, all these picks, whatever. But you also threw in Brandon Ingram, who played really well for the Raptors, on top of a bunch of picks, for someone who I'm kind of side-eyeing his availability. It's one of those situations where, yes, again, on paper, it looks good because they kept Colin Murray Boyles and you kept, what's his name, Scotty Barnes and all of that good stuff. But I don't know. I'm not convinced.
I think my one pushback to that is how healthy has Brandon Ingram been?
Truth.
And on top of that, if you're Toronto, you're kind of like in a tough spot because they've been linked to a lot of different stars. Mm-hmm. They were linked to Anthony Davis initially. Yeah. They were linked to Ja Morant. You're linked to Kawhi. You've got to pull the trigger on something. Mm-hmm. And Kawhi saved them last time. And if there's one thing we know about Kawhi, when he's on a contract year, magically he's healthy. So he's on a contract year this year. I don't foresee them giving him an extension before the season starts. Mm-hmm. I think they would like to see how he plays out. They might give him one mid-season or something, but I don't foresee them giving him one right now. Yeah. Unless I miss something. But I would say it's not a bad move for them because they're trying to get back into the picture of contention. Yeah. A lot of teams out east saw what the Knicks did this year and were like, oh, we're close. Mm-hmm, and if you're Toronto, and when you had the Cavs on the ropes the whole series without a star, you're saying to yourself, Kawhi Leonard would have got us there. Absolutely. So I think that you just kind of hedge your bets. I don't like the makeup of the team around him necessarily, and it's mainly just the 1 and the 2 guard spot that I'm not in love with. Mm-hmm. Emmanuel quickly coming off of that injury. Hopefully he has a good season, but he's on a big contract, and he really didn't play much of last year. Yeah. RJ Barrett is such a volume shooter. Oh, my gosh. Since college, bro, like, we thought it would get a little better when he got to the league, but oh, my goodness, bro. He either shoots 6 of 41 or 20 of 20. Like, there's no in-between. And then you're going to have Kawhi at the 3. You'll have Scotty Barnes at the 4, and you'll have Jakob Poeltl coming back from a bad back injury at the 5. Mm-hmm. And they lost, I cannot pronounce his name. Was it Samdro? Went to the Lakers. Yep. So, you know, the makeup of the team isn't the greatest, but I do think the team defensively can go a long ways. Mm-hmm. And if you can just get an offensive output from Kawhi, overall it wasn't a bad deal. Yeah. You know.
The picks scare me a little. He's aging, but, I mean, you're right. This is their splash, you know. So, we'll see how it goes. I do like Jamal Shead, who, like you mentioned, they were able to keep. Loved him since he was at Houston. So, yeah, defensively, they should be a team of junkyard. Oh,
absolutely. You're not going to get nothing off against some guys.
Mm-hmm. But... Yeah, well, from the Clippers side... What do you think about that roster? It is extremely hodgepodge.
Yeah, it is. And they have some decisions to make because do you keep Brook Lopez, who is, almost 40 now?
Yeah.
And, he doesn't fit the timeline of that team. Mm-hmm. Do you keep Ty Lue? I mean, listen, I know you're not a huge fan of Ty Lue.
Don't get me started.
But Ty Lue is one of those guys that coaches playoff teams. I can't see him wanting to stick around for this young team because now your team, the oldest guy right now is Brandon Ingram. And your team is Darius Garland. It's, who's the guy they drafted?
Keaton Wagler.
He's a shooter now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Keaton Wagler, Brandon Ingram, Derrick Jones Jr.,
Benedict Mathurin,
Brook Lopez, this
fourth quarter yelling.
Oh, a lot of F. Batum, man. He's still there. This is crazy.
He is.
Crazy work, bro. And then they got that center with the super long last name. I'm not even going to try to go there. But, I mean, this is a really hodgepodge team. And then, of course, Grady Dick.
Yeah.
Whatever you do with that. So, this is a really thrown-together team. Bradley Beal just chucked up the deuces and was like, forget my player option. I'm out.
Yeah. Wasn't it only for like $5 million or something?
Yeah, and he was like, I'd rather go sign a vet minimum somewhere else. So, I mean, yeah, this is a weird team. The Clippers are definitely in a rebuild now. Like, there's no more soft launching it. You're here.
Right.
Brandon, be prepared to pack your bags and be playing somewhere else in a year.
Dang.
I mean, it's what happens. He's going to get offloaded for picks at some point.
It's really so sad, the trajectory of his career.
Him and that bum Julius Randle both.
Oh, please. Julius, I feel no sympathy. Brandon has actually played well at a couple of his stops.
You know what the problem is with Brandon, and I really have nothing against Brandon. He refuses to change his play style.
Mm-hmm.
When you are a shooter like that,
mm-hmm.
you've either got to lock into being 3-and-D or you've got to lock into being the best player on the court.
Yeah.
And he does not do either.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of like, I'm here, I'm
right.
making my money, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to look really good on that Clippers team, but it's going to be ass. Moving forward.
Mm-hmm. We can pivot to LeBron now.
Before we get to LeBron, let's touch on the Hornets a little bit.
Okay.
The Hornets are doing a lot of interesting things right now. I'm still in my windy bag with them. They're going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
They just absorbed Dorian Finney-Smith at, I believe, $15 million a season for 3 second-round picks. This is after they traded away their franchise stalwart and LaMelo Ball to the Timberwolves. And they've retooled this roster now around Con Knuppel and Brandon Miller. They have a $32 million exception left that they can use, and they have 6 first-round picks that they've acquired just in this offseason. They're going to do something. Mm-hmm. I don't know when, I don't know what, but there's a big move to be made there with that $32 million trade exception and all those picks that they have that are tradable.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. I think it's a very interesting offseason for the Hornets. They got a new look team, and I think they're going to make some noise in the East, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
LeBron.
And
you in this squeaky chair over here.
I'm not getting a new chair.
LeBron has announced he's not returning to the Lakers. This is following
shocker
their re-signing of Austin Reeves. As soon as LeBron said he wasn't coming back, the Lakers fake cried for about 5 minutes, put out a statement, and then instantly got to making moves. Good moves? There's a lot of question marks in there.
Doing something.
But LeBron, we are officially on LeBron watch. The report is that it's been whittled down to 6 teams that he is really in heavy talks with. Cleveland, going back home, which that's probably where I'd put my money. Golden State, Minnesota, Miami, the Nuggets, and Philadelphia, who, as we mentioned, just acquired Jaylen Brown. So, talk to me about your thoughts on LeBron's fit with those 6 teams and kind of the Lakers' moves to this point and how they will look moving forward without LeBron.
I'm going to start with the least likely to the most likely to me.
Okay.
To me, the two of the best fits are the 2 teams I think he's probably not going to. Denver, I've got them at like 6 to me.
Yeah.
I don't see him going to Denver to team up with Jokic. I think it would be one of the worst moves he's made in his career from a how we view him standpoint. It would be like KD teaming up with the Warriors.
Yeah.
Because Jokic had belt to ass for years on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Him and Jamal Murray. And for you to go over there and join them, that's just a really bad look. Number 5 to me would be the Mavs.
Where'd you get the Mavs from?
So you didn't have them on your list?
No.
The Mavericks are actually on... Did you see Rich Paul's board?
I saw a screenshot of it, but I didn't really look too heavy.
That's a really good thing to watch, that clip of him and Max Kellerman. Rich Paul is literally breaking down every single team that LeBron is interested in on that board.
Rich Paul needs to be quiet.
And the 5 teams he had around were the teams you named, including the Mavericks and the Spurs. The Spurs, he said, was pretty much a no-go, but the Mavericks, he said LeBron was interested in, and the reasons he had listed underneath were oil.
What?
Yep. Oil. Golf. And I believe the ownership.
That's enough.
Yeah. So to me, they're a distant option. But apparently he has some intrigue to play there. Probably just because of Kyrie and all that.
That's why they were in the top 6.
Well, Minnesota would be next to me after that. Minnesota, he would be a great fit in Minnesota. But I can't see him going to Minnesota.
I can't either.
I mean, it would be great, but it just doesn't make sense for his career. Then, to me, soon after... I think it would be Miami here. I just don't know what they have. Nobody really knows what they have. And even if you're talking about bringing in Chris Middleton and Bradley Beal, who they're linked to, that team just does not move me, even with LeBron. I think it's interesting, but I don't think it's enough to move the needle out in the East.
That would be too much going on in the front court. Like... There's not enough ball to go around for Giannis, LeBron, and Bam Adebayo. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch Giannis running to the rim 78 times a game.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch LeBron dribbling 20 times before he decides he wants to take a step back 3. I don't want to watch Bam running around looking confused because nobody's passing him the ball. I don't want to see that.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm not intrigued with that at all. And it just doesn't make sense to me either on that. That puts us with the 76ers, the Warriors, and the Cavs. That's where it gets kind of tricky. I could see him going to the Warriors because he's always wanted to play with Steph.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would be a really bad move for his career. Because you're not winning. I don't see it.
It would be similar to the Denver move in the way that people would perceive that.
I don't know if they would perceive that as bad just because Steph is older and getting a little washed too. Respectfully, I love Steph. I really do. But his injuries are catching up to him. He started his career with injuries. He's finishing his career with injuries.
You don't think they would look at that the same way? Like, he's not with Miami anymore or anything, or the Cavs, but it's still he's going to team up with.
I think the difference is Steph and him have squashed their beef. Like, they didn't really have a real beef to begin with, But over the years, especially since Team USA, they were like buddy, and everybody has kind of always like been giddy at the idea of them teaming up together. A LeBron pass to Stephen Curry, popping a 3.
Yeah.
That makes everybody excited.
Yeah. Did you call him Stephen the Curry?
I hope not. Stephen the Curry. But, yeah, I don't know. I could see it, but I also feel like that would be such an old team. And it reminds me of, was it the 02 Lakers? I think it was the 02 Lakers that had like Gary Payton and that weirdo Karl Malone and Kobe and Shaq and like every old guy you could think of that was a has-been at the time.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah, I don't know if I would love that. Then we get to Philly and Cleveland. Philly is a really interesting option now because you can go in and slide in right at the 4, and you've got a great team to work with.
Yeah.
The fit would be a little...
it'd be clunky, for sure.
You know, because JB is not standing in the corner and shooting threes. Joel is also not going to stand in the corner and shoot threes.
If LeBron goes there, I mean, he's 100% just a playmaker at that point.
Absolutely. He's a point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
I don't hate it, but to me, the number one choice and the choice I think will happen is Cleveland. I think he goes back home. I think he takes a vet minimum. James Harden takes a little bit less money to bring in some free agents or allow them to keep some guys or whatever. And I think he goes for it one more time with Cleveland. And then he rides off into the sunset doing his documentary and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think that's where I would like to see him end up. For selfish reasons, because I do like Donovan Mitchell, and I would like to see him get one.
Yeah.
And I think LeBron would put them in a position to get there.
Absolutely. And I mean, I like what he would be able to do for those guys' careers.
Yeah.
Like, he would help Donovan get to that next level. He would turn Evan Mobley into Chris Bosh, which is not bad, Evan. Really,
For sure.
It is not.
Yeah.
Like, he would get you to become a more consistent three-point shooter and still be the defensive menace you want to be. And he also slides in there perfectly right at the 3.
Yep.
That's literally the only thing they're missing. So, yeah, I mean, as far as the Lakers' point of view, what a misstep. I saw that they traded DeAndre Ayton today.
Yep.
For Jaden Hardy, and they got back some picks on that. They're trying to open up some money so that they can bring in Jonathan Kuminga. We are having a fall from grace if we're the Lakers here. But
Luka said he loves the roster construction.
Luka is leaving. that was a setup. Luka's leaving. But yeah, all that to just say that everything that they've done, the Lakers, has been terrible this offseason, and I see why LeBron left. And I just hope that LeBron does what all of us want him to do really in our hearts, and that's just go back to Cleveland and try one more time.
Yep.
And then ride off into the sunset, man.
I agree with you.
Did you have anything else on the docket?
Not really. I think, some big moves happened, and like you said, we're waiting on LeBron. He's kind of holding up the second wave of free agency. Hopefully he doesn't draw this out, and we don't need another the decision part 2.
Man.
We just really don't. Just choose where you're going.
Bro, you're 40.
And let's wrap this up. Also, Kawhi, leave that uncle in California. Leave that uncle in California.
No.
You escaped one Rico. He's about to have you planting trees in Toronto. And we just can't have that.
They're going to be planting maple leaves.
What's his name? Uncle Dennis?
Yeah.
Uncle Dennis, you need to stop.
No. I think that's why he went back to Toronto, so he could keep going.
Uncle Dennis is getting paid under the table, negotiating, trying to strong-arm people for his nephew. Let's just wrap it up. Go to Toronto and play basketball. Leave Uncle Dennis at home.
Couple of notable coaching moves. Jay Triano went to Portland with Mike Nori, longtime assistant. He's going to be good for them. And Willie Green ended up going to Dallas with Dusty May. That'll be a good little assistant, head coach, whatever, kind of get Dusty settled. And then Billy Donovan going to the Spurs as their lead assistant coach. Hey, listen, Mitch, count your days.
Absolutely.
Because if you mess up this year, there's a reason why they hired Billy Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, with all that being said, it's been a crazy week.
Yep.
We hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Have some fun this weekend. Pop some fireworks. Be safe. Everybody get home safe.
Yes.
And, of course, thank you for listening.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Okay. We will catch you guys next time on another episode of Covered Together. I've been Boogs. This has been Mara. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.